We'll figure it out. All right, I think it
Well,
says
we
I'm
definitely
live.
will.
I think it says I'm live. Let me just double check my YouTube so we can say hi to everybody.
I gotta show you. I'll text it to you later tonight. I've been working in Photoshop for a while.
Oh.
Now I've got this gorgeous. I don't know if you ever saw. I think I showed you like one of the ones I had, the original Charizard card from way back when we were both kids.
I think you did, yeah.
Well, in Photoshop, I made one with a shiny Charizard.
Oh, cool.
It's the black one, so I put it on a different card blank and everything, and I'm making it all like crazy looking, and I'm pretty pleased with it.
Nice. That's awesome, Stephen. All right, I could hear you, so I think we're good. Yay!
Hey.
I want to see what you've been working on.
Yeah, I'll definitely send you the image.
Sounds good. Yeah, but hello everyone. Welcome back. Sorry, my voice just like gave out. But hi, we're here to talk about the last like 4 Owl House episodes because it's been forever since we did this. But it's still going to be a ton of fun and we're both really excited.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my God, especially after Hollow Mind, which was the last one we talked about.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's my favorite episode that the show has ever given us.
And that was the last one we talked about, right?
That was the last one, yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's been crazy because none of these episodes that have followed it up have disappointed at all.
No, not even remotely. A lot has happened, though.
Yeah.
But anyway... Yeah, I know you don't... Oh, did you say you have Hootie with you?
I do have Hootie with me.
Oh, wait, I need to log on to your Twitch to actually see him, so give me a sec.
Well, I'm actually not live on my Twitch right now.
Oh, right, you said you're not, so I can't see Hootie.
I'll send you, like, a little video where I'll, like...
Aw, man.
I'm recording what we're doing, like, this on my end right now.
You're just, like, recording in general. Okay. Oh, that's fine. All right, well, you can show me later. Anyway, guys, for those of you that don't know, Steven has a stuffed Hootie from the Owl House, and I didn't even know people made those. So that's
I got them
cool.
on Etsy. It's
on
4 feet long.
Wow. Etsy's great for, like, fandom-made characters that, like, you wouldn't be likely to find at the store.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can get the King plush on the Mystery Shack, but Hootie is a whole nother...
Which I'm still going to do. I'm being really bad in drinking a cotton candy flavored energy drink right now, which is probably so bad for me. But
I really need to link you to GG Sups.
Oh, like, wait, you were telling me about, like, some energy drink I would like last time.
Yeah, it's GG Sups. There's no sugar. It's all natural. Like, you just need to be careful how much you drink because there's no crash. So, like... Yeah. With sugar and caffeine, you'll eventually get really tired after it wears off. Like, this stuff doesn't wear off like that.
Oh, that's, like, pretty amazing.
Mika's the one that showed it to me.
Yeah, today I needed one. I've been up since 5 a.m. teaching, literally all day.
Ooh.
5 a.m., so...
I know you said earlier that you were up super early.
Yeah, but it's okay. Let's start talking about these episodes, shall we?
Yes!
So I guess the first one we're going to be talking about is Edge of the World?
Edge of the World, yes. Cue Within Temptation song.
Do you want to go first, or should I go first, or what do you think?
This was the King episode, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
Okay, Edge of the World. I mean, I don't know what else I could say about that episode besides we find out that King is the last Titan. And I remember, I mean, you and I have been talking about this and, like, speculating this for a while. But it's definitely a bit more eye-opening when you have it confirmed. And I don't know, I felt for King in that episode. I felt really... like, sad that he felt so lonely and, like, all of these things that he, you know, he's finally, I feel like his character has always just wanted to discover his identity, and now all of a sudden everything's happening at once, and it's like, he finds out that even though all he wanted was a family, that he doesn't have any family left, and that's so tragic. And I really feel like that's made me really be feeling for King a lot this season. I just want him to feel loved and happy and like he fits in somewhere, and it's really sad. But also, could we talk about the big twist that, like, they were in disguise, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that they were King's kind, but something about it felt off to me. Like, I was kind of like, okay, so they're gonna go in this direction of, like, they're Titan hunters or something, and I was
Titan
like,
trappers, yeah.
Wait, is that what it was? Titan trappers?
Trappers, yeah.
Titan trackers, I guess. And I just remember being
trappers.
like...
Trappers with a P.
Oh, it was trappers.
Like they're setting a trap for somebody, yeah.
Yeah, I remember being like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I kind of thought they would be the Titans themselves, but they're not, but yet that doesn't really make sense. And I kind of remember being a little, like, disappointed by that. So, like... I'm kind of weirdly happy that they actually weren't, like, Titan trappers, because something about me, I don't know, did you believe it? Like, I felt like that was kind of, like, a weird direction for the show to go in, but then when I found out they were humans in disguise who were, like, worshipping the Collector, I was like, what? Like, that was, like, so surprising. Yeah,
they were another life form from the Isles. I don't believe actually humans, but very humanoid-like.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like witches are. I don't think they were witches either. Like, I think it's another... I would kind of compare it to, like, if you go back to, like, not prehistoric, but if you go back to, like, ancient times, where you had, like, you had Homo sapiens and Neanderthals.
Really?
I would kind of compare it, like, witches and the Titan trappers to the two species, you know, like, they're very, like, they have their similarities in nature, but they're also different.
Do you think that they're at all connected to the Collector, though?
I mean, they worship the Collector like he's their god.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
And they were, like, the first thing when they got there, the one that greeted them, which was appeared to be the same one that dropped the letter off.
Yeah.
He said, "Welcome to the other side," or something, like, "You're on the other side."
Yeah.
Which means that they crossed to the other side of the Isles, like, dimension-wise. And so they had, like, that's not just, like, the Boiling Isles being a separate, like, they were the demon realm being a separate dimension from the human realm, but, like, apparently there was another dimension within the demon realm itself.
That's insane.
And that was what that spire took them to when they went up into the sky, and then, you know, like, gravity kind of reverted and went upside down, and they were on the other side then. It was like they got sucked upwards, and then they landed downwards, so it's kind of like everything flipped like an hourglass.
Yeah. And that was very, I mean, they were also very, like, interesting character design-wise, those people. I mean, it might be like what you said, like, you know, they're just, like, a different being altogether. I mean... I think maybe they look similar to how the Collector looked in the promo art, so I'm kind of curious about that. Like, are they maybe the same type of being as the Collector? I mean, I kind of thought they were just kind of like humans just wearing makeup to worship the Collector. Well, not humans, but, like, you know, whatever beings they were.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't get the vibe that they were, like, magical like the Collector, because obviously they needed his power. Like, they were worshiping him and trying to summon him.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the extent of the Collector's power. We know the Collector, as fitting for their name, used to hunt demons, which would make sense that, you know, now we know it's all the way up from smaller demons, whatever, to Titans. We don't know if it's exclusively, like, rare demons or if more common ones apply. You know, we don't know what he's doing with them. You know, we saw what he did with the Owl Beast.
Yeah.
But we don't know, like, what the Collector's doing with the rest of them. You know, like, are these the ones that are getting, like, giraffes that are getting banished to the human realm? Is this, you know, what is he using them for? Like, why is he hunting these beasts?
Exactly.
And, you know, and the Collector, I mean, I'll touch a lot more on the Collector as we go through this, but, like, the rest of that tribe, it's tough to say that they were trying to look like the Collector. I mean, they said you gotta look like a demon to trap a demon. So they tried to look like, or not look like a demon, look like a Titan. So they tried to look like Titans, which is why they looked like King, only a lot larger. But when they were talking to Bill, and that name just really made it, I was like, Dana, I see what you did here.
Kind of funny that you brought that up, because we actually just got a comment, Steven, that said, Fun fact, the voice of Bill is voiced by one of the creators of Big City Greens and the voice of Cricket Green. Oh, I've seen that cartoon before, Big City Greens.
I am familiar with it, yes.
Yeah. So it's funny that he just brought up Bill. Thank you for your comment, and thank you for joining. Yes, well, we were talking about Bill because we have a theory that the Collector is going to be like the new Bill Cipher.
The new Bill Cipher, yeah. So when I heard the name Bill, I'm like, okay, Dana, all right, I got you.
And what do you think about that, Steven? Because I feel like it's even more apparent after the last few episodes whenever we've seen the Collector trapped within the walls, because now we know he's trapped. He's really, like, very just,
he's not... I mean, he's trapped under the Titan, but I also find it interesting that the object he's trapped in, for those of y'all Pokemon fans out there, that looked an awful lot like a Beast Ball to me. And for anyone who doesn't know, so a Beast Ball, you can Google it. Kelly, I think I sent you the image of it in a text message. So a Beast Ball is a special kind of Pokeball that is virtually ineffective on normal Pokemon. But it is pretty much guaranteed to catch Ultra Beasts, which are Pokemon that travel through different dimensions, through time and space, in what's called an Ultra Wormhole.
Wow.
So if the Collector is specifically in a Beast Ball, that would tell me that the Collector himself or themselves is an interdimensional being, which really lines up with, I think, a lot of the things that both of us have theorized about his or their, since Collector uses he, they.
It could be an homage to Pokemon. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm sure...
Dana, it wouldn't be Dana's first homage to Pokemon in the show. Just like it wouldn't have been her first homage to Avatar when, any numerous number of scenes that have happened.
Or Tamagotchis. Which doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I love how Luce and Amity communicate on those little Tamagotchi things. But yeah, I definitely think the Collector, he is another being entirely, and he's also trapped, which brings up the point, why is he imprisoned in the first place? He wouldn't be imprisoned if someone at some point in time didn't find him dangerous. Because he is stuck, right? And Belos is saying, if you do this for me, I'll give you your freedom. So,
my thing, we know he's been trapped since the 1600s. So...
Scary.
That's good, and we're kind of bridging into the next episode here, which actually works out because
look at us.
These first two episodes we're going through, which is Edge of the World and Labyrinth Runners, I do believe take place at pretty much the exact same time, because none of the same characters appear in either of these episodes.
Yeah.
Labyrinth Runners, fun fact, was actually the first episode that did not have Luce, Ida, or King in it.
Oh yeah.
Because Ida was with Lilith in the Owl House, and Luce and King and Hootie went to the place that the letter took them to, which brought them to the other side.
Yeah.
Now, my thing here, we know that if the Collector's been imprisoned for hundreds of years, at least, if not longer, my guess is it had to be the Titan, King's dad, assuming that the Titan corpse that makes up the Boiling Isles is his dad, because they did refer to the last remaining Titan as the son of the Isles, implying that King's dad would have been, or was, the Titan that they live on.
Yeah.
And you see him kind of look at the decomposing Titan that makes up the Isles at the end of
Steven,
Edge of the World.
Don't say that's his dad.
And, it's, he knows. And I think one of the little things that brings to me is, first of all, I think King's dad sacrificed himself to take out the Collector.
That could very well be true.
Which means that the Collector's been trapped potentially thousands of years.
Yeah.
We don't know. And that also says, how long was King in that egg? In the Titan nursery. We know how long it's been roughly since he hatched.
Right.
But he woke up in the egg before that, and he heard what he knew meant son.
Yeah.
So, how long was he in the egg before? We don't know how long it takes a Titan to grow in an egg. We know that he's small, and he's grown a little bit since, Ida brought him in, but not a lot. But when you look at the size of the Isles, I mean, you potentially looking at thousands of years in lifespan.
Exactly.
And another thing that brings up, we saw in the flashback of Knock Knock Knocking on Hootie's door when the Collector trapped the Owl Beast. But we don't know how long ago that was. If the Collector's been trapped for at least hundreds of years, how old and how ancient is that Owl Beast? Like, is that why we've never seen another one? Is that why no one in the Isles knows anything about that demon? Like, was there something special about it? Was there something rare about it? Like, what? We don't know anything about what kind of demon that is.
There must have been something. I mean, I really feel like there's still... I mean, the things that we're in the dark about mostly now are not as much Bellows, but... You know, well, I guess technically...
It's more pertaining to the Collector and you know, how they'll handle the Day of Unity, I think.
The Collector, what's going to happen on the Day of Unity, still the more mysteries about, like, who were the Titans, what did they do. I think you could be right about King's dad, which would be so sad, but also kind of, like, King would get to sort of avenge his father, which I think would be pretty cool. So if our characters win the war, which I feel a little positive about, sort of. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's the big mystery now is who is the Collector, what is his deal, you know, and the Owl Beast. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, we haven't talked about that much, but we don't know much about it.
I think the Owl Beast and the curse comes huge because that's how they're planning to stop the Day of Unity and the draining spell. Right, I'm looking at these chats here.
Yeah, me too. We're getting some comments that I think we should talk about. One of the comments is about what we were just mentioning, how it was the first episode without Luce and Ida and all of them. Yep. Secondary characters episode. And that was Labyrinth
Until a certain jerk of a mother broke it. And that was a couple episodes later, but we will touch base on that.
We have to talk about that.
I originally was going to be cosplaying as a certain redeemed, pretty much, father, who I happen to have a cosplay of and have had for almost a year since he made his appearance in his first appearance.
And love that
his first, like, fully revealed appearance. Because I always felt like he had redeemable qualities, whereas the certain aforementioned mother, nope, that's Dolores Umbridge.
Well, honestly, I think, like, we've been seeing a lot of redemption that we've already been predicting, which is kind of exciting. For Hunter, of course, in Labyrinth Runners. Yep. Which I think is amazing, because Hunter, like, you know, I always say this every time we talk. I just want the best for him. He deserves to be happy. He's just a kid, like Luce and everyone else. And, like, I love seeing him be like, you know what? I could have friends and just be happy, and maybe I don't have to let, like, this whole legacy that was thrust upon me define who I am, and I love seeing that for him. And also, of course, Amity's dad, especially in the latest episode. But I feel like we're going out of order. Should we go in order? I don't know what to do. Or should we just, like, geek out with people in the comments? Maybe we should. Well,
I'm gonna answer Flower Crown Luna here. Yes, I was referring to Alador. I do have an Alador cosplay that I've had since last summer. I actually wore it to Indie PopCon 2021.
Cool.
Last July, and I do have pictures. And actually, the picture I used for the thumbnail for this, not the overlay that we're on, but the thumbnail actually is me. It's a little too close up, but it is me in my Alador cosplay.
Oh, is it? I have to look at it again. That's awesome, Steven. Also, Flower Crown Luna, I love your name. That's a really pretty username.
I absolutely love Alador. I saw he was in the wrong. He needed to stand up to Adalia, and he did at the end of Escaping Expulsion, and that's what really made me appreciate the character.
I was like
that, and the fact that, like, I feel like I resonate with him on other aspects of life. Like, he's extremely ADD, and I'm like, oh my god, that's me.
Which you've mentioned before, yeah. And also,
so it's like I just feel like he's kind of like. He kind of lost his way for a bit, and he didn't mean to, but he didn't realize it, and I love how far he's come. But we moved on to Labyrinth Runners here, I think. Yeah. We had a good transition.
Okay, yeah, we could talk about Labyrinth Runners. So, yeah, we're talking about... I want to see if anyone else commented on that. If you guys want to make any... Oh, we just got a comment from King Hijinks. I love Luce, but the fact that we... can have an episode like Labyrinth Runners where the protagonist is absent, but it's still a great episode, shows how well developed all the characters in the show are. Yes, 1000%. That's how I felt too. It was totally based on Gus, who we haven't seen like all season, and his relationship with Hunter, which was a very unlikely formed relationship that I wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah, and they became like brothers.
Literally. And like also it was so beautiful to me how Gus and Hunter were kind of going through sort of like the same thing. Like these feelings of feeling isolated and different and feeling like they had to shut away because of that. And in a way, like Gus helped Hunter in the beginning of the episode, right? He's like, you know, you're not alone. You can talk to us. Like, we're here for you if you want to talk to us about your feelings. And then at the end, when Gus is too in his head and he's obsessive thinking and he's beating himself up, which I related to Gus because I do that. Like, when I'm in like a place of obsessive thinking, I start to imagine all these things about myself that aren't true, and it closes me off. Like, it's hard for me to be present.
It kind of feels like all the dominoes fall at one time.
Yeah, and it's hard for people to get through, which is why Gus was in that big, giant, like, glowing orb, because that's what it feels like. And then Hunter was like, you know what, Gus, like, I'm here for you. Like, he paid it forward to him. And I thought that was such a beautiful moment, you know? Like,
and you know, like, I went through all the way up until after Labyrinth Runners, swearing by the fact that I shipped Hunter with no one. Because I'm like, you know what, it's not because he doesn't deserve to be loved. This kid needs help. Yeah. But I've seen the screenshots. It's been pointed out. It's become more and more apparent. The screenshots of him and Willow, there's some kind of heart in the background. I give on this one. They are meant to be a couple. Hunter and Willow are meant to be a couple.
You think so?
I do.
I would like to see it develop a little more.
I did not ship it, but you know, someone else posted and they said, "All right, I give up. You were right. They're meant to be." And the imagery is in the background, and they showed like 3 examples, and I said, "Yeah, I can't argue with this. You know what? Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's not personally the way that I saw things going, but like, I'm not the storyteller here."
Of course.
So, you know, and I want Dana to be able to tell the story that she wants to tell.
Of course. I mean,
and if that's, you know, the way that's going to go, because I do think that, Pamela, I agree. I do think they can make a cute couple. And, you know, I think that was a huge moment. And I think, you know, now that they know that they can trust him and he's on their side, and he knows that Bellows is evil, you know, I mean, that poor kid has gone through as much trauma, if not more, than Steven Universe went through in his entire show.
Literally. So much trauma. So much trauma. Like, I feel so bad for Hunter. Like, I just want him to be happy.
And, you know, and I loved that when in that episode, too, like, I had to put what I call Bump's army on the background, which, you know, kind of like Dumbledore's army, like they had in Harry Potter, but, like, that screenshot where Bump is, like, aiming out the Coven Guard. He's like, "You might be from the Emperor's Coven, but I'm still principal."
And these are my students!
And, like, Freewind comes off his head, and they got all the students there, and, like, a bunch of kids maybe, but they're strong. Like, they took out Coven Scouts.
Hell yeah. I didn't know what overlay you'd make, Steven, and when I looked at it, I was like, wait, what is that? I see like Amity's siblings, and I see Willow, and then I saw Principal Bump in the middle, and I'm like, oh, it's Principal Bump ready to kick some major butt with his student army.
That was, I mean, like, Bump already was a certified badass, but if we ever needed a full moment, that was it. Like, pose, that was like, you have been certified an official badass, good sir.
Absolutely.
Like, I already thought he was a badass, but like, but he really, like, he loves the kids at his school. He cares about them, and I mean, like, his ways are kind of weird sometimes, but like, he's willing to adapt and change things, and he values the input of his students, and we learned that all the way back in season 1. Like, he didn't want to at first, and then it's like, no, he actually does.
Yeah.
He values the input of his...
Oh, Steven, are you there? I feel like you cut out... Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's weird. I thought, like, you cut out or something. No, he definitely does. And I have a comment that says that Principal Bump is a great principal from Cartoonish Claude. Definitely true. Thank you, Pamela, for saying you love my cat ears. I actually wore these because these are like my romantic cat ears. Like, they have roses on them if you look close. And I wore them because obviously one of the episodes, something really romantic happens. But I also feel...
we'll get there because I screamed when that happened.
Oh, I really feel like there's been like a lot of focus on like romantic relationships during the second half of the season. Don't you agree? Like, even just like diving deeper into like Rain and Ida's whole deal. You know, of course, Hunter and Willow, as we just talked about, and like Luz and Amity continuing to get stronger and stronger. And yeah, even, I don't know so much about wait, do you think we said everything we need to say about Labyrinth Runners? I want to see if we have any more comments.
I think the last thing I wanted to touch on Labyrinth Runners was just kind of a little Easter egg at the end.
Oh.
So there's a reference here, and there's a reference, a mini callback, and also a really cool fun fact about this. In the end of the episode, when they're gathering up the Coven Scouts and leaving the school, one of them goes, "Severine, you know, get on the ship," or whatever. Well, first of all, the name Severine, to me, is a direct reference to Severus Snape, again from Harry Potter.
Oh.
Severine being the female of Severus.
Now,
yeah. Which means severe. Number 2, she says it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for everybody. It's been a rough 2.5 years. COVID, nonsense, everything else, you know. And then she recalls the tiny cat coven that she's going back to, which was mentioned in the episode Covention. The tiny cat coven. The final thing, that character was voiced by Dana Terrace herself. So, some fun little things they threw. I heard the voice and I'm like, that's Dana. Yeah, really? That's Dana. And then I saw a Twitter post and Dana had, quote, replied it, and someone had asked who voiced Severine, and she's like, literally me. And I was just like, I knew it. I knew it was her.
I guess that would be Dana's coven of choice then, the tiny cat coven.
The tiny cat coven. What about Amity and Willow's friendship? Yes, Amity and Willow's friendship has blossomed incredibly over the second half of season 2 especially, and they even had that pose in Labyrinth Runners that was like very Sailor Moon style.
Yes, I loved that.
Back to back. I was just waiting for them to say, "By the power of Hexside, we will punish you," or something.
Oh yeah, I know, that was so cute. I was like, oh look, they did like the little back to back pose, and they were just like, ding.
Yeah, it was totally Sailor Moon.
It was adorable.
It was cute as hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got to meet another Cuphead who kind of seemed like a pushover. I don't really have much of an opinion on Gray, honestly.
I think the whole idea for him was to make him because I was a theater kid. I went to school for theater, so I think he was supposed to be this very this very pompous thespian that was I am the best and you're not doing it correctly. And I thought that was kind of funny that they based his character off of that type of a person, because I've met people like that. And I've had professors like that and stuff. But I do
kind of stuck up type,
Yeah, but he's definitely an unlikable character and pretty evil.
Here with Disney shortening, canceling Dana and Alex did break up, Or did break up. Oh. I will get to Dana or Disney shortening the Owl House, because let's just say that Dana got to that. So I will get to that in the next episode. When we jump to O Titan, Where Art Thou? Which we might be at that point.
Yeah, I think we're getting there.
Do you have anything else you want to say on Labyrinth Runners?
Well, we got a lot of comments saying that they loved the Sailor Moon pose.
The Sailor Moon. You recognize Flower Crown Luna. I recognize Dana immediately too. I freaked out at the Sailor Moon pose. Oh yeah, I recognize. Yeah, I was like, that's got to be Dana. It sounds just like her.
Yeah, and Cartoonish Claude says Gray is one of those annoying, overly judgmental film directors. Yep, that's what I said. Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
But I think overall, I liked the episode so much, again, because of the show focusing so much on connection. It's not even just individual
It's the relationships between the characters.
It's focused on the relationships. They've been building them stronger between, the whole cast, which I think could be alarming because they're making us feel for everyone so much now, and everyone's seeming like a big family. So that means there's a possibility of that family being torn apart, and that's what I really hope doesn't happen.
Well, and that's the thing is I think that they're gonna get separated, but not necessarily permanently torn apart.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go in that direction. But
and just so, because we are coming close to the end of this, and there are some parallels between the shows, I just want to put this out there for everyone. In case anyone doesn't know, please no Amphibia spoilers. I know Amphibia had its series finale, and there are a lot of parallels between these two shows.
Yes.
But please no Amphibia spoilers in the chat, because Kelly is only halfway through season 1. Yours truly has watched the whole thing. But
I am a little intimidated by Amphibia at this point. I don't know if I'm ever going to get through it.
You will.
You'll
eventually get hooked on it so much that...
Steven, are there like 5 seasons? Like
3.
All right, that's not that bad. I thought there were like 5 or 6. I was like, how am I going to watch this whole show?
3.
All right.
Amphibia is kind of obsessed with the number 3.
Interesting. Okay. So, all right. So should we move on to the next episode?
Yeah. Oh, Titan, where art thou? Okay. But this was going to be more trauma, honestly. This was a surprisingly, like, there was a bit in the episode, but this was a surprisingly lighthearted episode, especially at the end.
Yeah,
we learn
that twist at the end.
And, like, too, I think that, it kind of confirms that Labyrinth Runners and Edge of the World did indeed take place at pretty much the exact same time, immediately following Hollow Mind. Because we see Luce and King and Hootie come back to the Owl House, and, of course... the Clawthorns had to leave because they didn't have Hootie to protect the house from the Emperor's guards because he went with Luce and King.
Right.
So they escaped to the Knee, which is where Luce was able to find them thanks to a clue that either Ida or Lilith left. And Lilith was like bowing down to King this entire episode.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for Lilith. Like, all that was missing was the Pearl saluting her diamond pose, like, with her 2 hands. Like, from Steven Universe. That's all that was missing. I'm just waiting for her to be like, yes, my Titan.
Literally.
Just be like, oh my god. Like, Lilith is such a Pearl. Like, it's unbelievable. Whereas I think Ida is more of an Amethyst.
Oh, yeah. Lilith is definitely a bit of a Pearl, and I think that's why I like Lilith so much, because, like, Pearl was always my personal favorite of the 3 main crystal gems. I just, like, resonated with her the most, so maybe that's why I like Lilith so much, but...
Well, Lilith is more lawful, whereas Ida is chaotic.
Absolutely.
And so they kind of cover those... They both bridge into neutral... Yeah. But one leans lawful, one leans chaotic. And that's like, so you see the contrast between the 2 characters, which sets a great parallel.
And it's interesting to see for sisters.
I think it is a parallel similar to Philip and his brother, and especially the way we've seen Hunter behave, because I think his brother was more chaotic, whereas Philip was more lawful and by the book. Mm-hmm. And what he was taught... What he was seeing his brother do, he was taught that was wrong, and that people would be punished for that.
Right.
So.
Your theory is that Philip was actually more, as you're saying, more lawful. Like, he just played by the rules, played by the book. Whereas his brother, even though we don't know anything about his brother yet, might be more like.
No, all we know about him is Hunter's mannerisms.
But his brother might have a bit of a Ida spirit, like an Ida vibe to him.
More of a wild side, kind of like a free spirit.
Which would be super cool to see if, like, the brothers do mirror Ida and Lilith.
Rain is Garnet, Luce. Okay, so I've actually seen a lot of these with Avatar.
Who said that?
So Luce is Aang, Amity is Katara, Hunter is Zuko, Gus is Sokka. Willow is Toph.
Jeez, oh my god, you're blowing my mind! Stop it!
It's funny because Amity and Amity and Katara are also both voiced by Mae Whitman, the same person.
Oh my god. Oh, and so
because like in Eclipse Lake, like Amity's even got the little pouch that she pulls the abomination goo, and it's just like the one that Katara pulls her bending water from.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh my god, the Avatar references are so real.
You know what?
I mean, I feel like Kikimora would be Azula then, because Belos would be Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah, Kikimora. Ugh. I don't know. I hate hearing her name. No, you know what I think is so cringe. Amazing? How, like, in all these cartoons that we love, like, these modern cartoons, like, there's always, like, you could tell when the new ones come out. Like, of course, Owl House is after Steven Universe, after Gravity Falls. Oh,
you can see the inspiration.
You see that these creators probably watched Steven Universe and were like, this is amazing.
Yeah, they watched Steven Universe. Falls. They watched Adventure Time, you know, they watched Avatar, they watched Pokemon, you know, like they watched all of these shows that we grew up with. Inspires
the next, and it just keeps snowballing into better and better cartoons, and that's so important. It's like everyone's like connected in a way. It's really cool.
And I do believe, I also, and I have another Owl House cosplay to make after I'm done with Momo and all this, because we got to see the face of a certain character that was only brought back due to popularity, and happens to share a name with me.
Steve.
So, we got to spend more time with Steve.
Yeah.
And he took his helmet off, and I immediately was like, Bartholomew's brother. Dana confirmed that on Twitter. Steve is Bartholomew's older brother, who he references in Through the Looking Glass Ruins.
Oh my god, he actually does look like Bartholomew.
He does. He is his older brother. Bartholomew has his hair the way he does. It is because he idolizes his brother.
Aww.
That was originally going to be an episode, like the story for an episode, but thanks, Disney.
I didn't even notice that. That's cool.
And while we're on that topic, I loved when Luce wanted to go on the heist and get Francois back for King. And Ida says, "Wouldn't you rather go on the beach?" And Luce says, "I would love to have a beach day, but if we had time for 20 more missions, but we don't." That is a direct stab by Dana at Disney for chopping season 3, and I love it.
Jeez.
I absolutely love it.
That's
it
ballsy.
Was beautiful. Like, she did not hold back. She went in. They are half-brothers. Yes, that's correct. Pamela, okay. They are half-brothers. Zeno said Hunter would love Steven Universe. Yes, he did. That's true. Zeno Robinson did say that. That's the voice actor for Hunter.
Wow. I'm looking at the comments now. Kiki is Azula. I love these comparisons. Oh, thank you, Pamela, for commenting my hair. That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. We would probably have a beach day episode. Yeah, well, honestly...
Yeah, they have one in Avatar, where they literally just, you know, they have one in Avatar where, like, Zuko and Azula and May and Ty Lee were on the beach the whole episode. And they had one in Steven Universe literally called The Beach.
Well, I feel like every episode...
the pizza family over, and then they got attacked by that giant pufferfish.
Oh my god, I feel like every episode of Steven Universe was like a beach episode. Like,
well, I mean, they live in Beach City on the beach. You know, it's a reference to Dewey Beach, Delaware, because they had Mayor Dewey until season 5.
By the way,
Ocean Town right next door, and there's Ocean City, Maryland. They call the state Delmarva, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Delmarva.
That's true.
But that's food for another subject for another time.
By the way, guys, really quick before we keep continuing with the episodes, like, since you guys are leaving Steven Universe comments, like, Steven and I, when Owl House is over, we are going to do a Steven Universe live stream, or maybe a few, just to, like, reminisce, like talk about, like, our process. Yeah. So if you guys want to join, we would love to have you.
Yeah. Oh, Steven Universe was the show that brought us together.
It was! We were connected. Yeah. Steven and I were connected through Steven Universe, actually.
Yeah.
So I think, and also, I still believe that Steven Universe, in my opinion, is like the greatest cartoon of all time. My opinion.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite show of all
like
time.
Out of anything I've seen.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite show, animated or not. It's nothing touches that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we're gonna do that in the future. Steven Universe.
Steven Future.
All right.
We are the future.
We are the future.
All right, so moving. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else in O Titan Where Art Thou. In the end, I mean, they had the whole thing where Ida was going to send Luce away. They both get captured. And then we learned that, I think they figured Luce was going to come out of the back of that thing attacking someone immediately, like she did in Youngblood Old Souls, which is why Darius immediately whipped up the abomination goo and grabbed her.
Can we just talk about how pissed off Darius was about it being called the Cats?
Oh my god, that was so... Did I send you that meme where it was like, Darius is Scar now and is... Like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Literally, I'm surrounded by idiots. The Cats, are you kidding me?
That was so, just like, we are, I didn't agree to this, the Covens against the throne. Can we please stop? AKA, no, the Cats. Like, oh my
and Rain being all adorable, like with their little jazz hands.
I love Darius.
And Darius is like, Rain, cut it out. Don't even go there. I love it so much. Like, we need more Darius. We need more Darius.
He's my favorite Coven head.
Mine too.
By far. Not that he's on the I love side. Rain, don't get me wrong, but Darius is too funny.
Yeah,
I love that he got himself intentionally assigned to that mission to stake out Rain and Ida because he knew that he and Rain would, that they were gonna ally together. Mm-hmm. And then Everwolf being a part of that mission too. And some people think Everwolf might be a rat within the Cats. I personally don't think there is one.
Oh,
and if there is, because Kikimora said Bellows has eyes on everyone and they're all pointing at the Owl Lady. Well, if there is a rat within the Cats, I think it's that someone using a cloaking gem to disguise themselves as one of the people. I don't believe anyone in the Cats is actually a traitor. Everwolf or one of the other one of the bats, not Rain, but one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Or Steve. They've been suspected, but I don't believe any of them actually are.
I don't think so. I mean, I hope not. Because I just want some hope right now. Things are not looking good, and the Collector is really freaking me out. So I don't want that to be true. But we never know. I can't even talk right now. King Hijinks said, just regarding... Before we move on, it's amazing how they took a joke character like Steve and turned him into an actual character who helped King with his emotional crisis and also one of the most philosophical characters in the show. I agree. That is so cool that they did that. And I wasn't expecting it either, That
was actually supposed to be a completely new character, but because the fans kept mentioning Steve's name, that's why Dana brought him back.
Yeah.
For an actual... Because, he did make a cameo in the episode where Lilith's party for her new job at the museum, when we got that horrible Dora the Explorer ripoff.
Oh, yeah.
Laura Desplora, who was voiced by Dora the Explorer's mom's voice actress.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, my God. And Flower Crown Luna says, the Cat's jazz hands. I love that. Thank you. That's how I felt too. That's exactly what Rain did. Rain was like,
that's very possible. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Cartoonish Claude, that's very possible. But I think that, I hope it's not true as well, but, I think, it's they either don't have a rat. I mean, Matthew Rice referred to Bellows back in season 1 as an omnipotent megalomaniac emperor. And he knew that Luce and Willow and Gus were trying to take the healing hat from the castle. When they say no one will know, you hear Bellows' voice and he says, I'll know.
Oh, so crazy.
And he's not even there. So it's like, we don't know if that's just because they were in the castle or what. He can't talk to the Titan. He can talk to the Collector. The Collector and the Titan fought. That's probably what that mural is on. The Collector could be like a Pokemon trainer, where he collects the demons and uses them to fight people and gain ground.
Well, there is that whole puppet
and that could be what that
thing.
Fight is in the mural in the Titan nursery.
Well, isn't there that whole puppet master thing that you mentioned that they kept talking about? I mean, I think the Collector
That's in the secret message. I will touch base on that since there's only one word left.
Okay.
And I am nearly certain it is between one of two words, and there are reasons to justify either of them. I think we pretty much hit everything as far as O Titan, Where Art Thou? So that leaves Clouds on the Horizon, the most recent episode.
Yeah.
The return of Dolores Umbridge, aka she whose name shall not be spoken. You know, yeah. I'm firmly of the belief of never hit a lady, but I think Amity's mom might be the exception.
Amity's mom, like, blew me
She's a horrible person
in this episode. Like, I literally kind of thought that she was just, okay, like, she's old-fashioned. You know, she's, like, the harsh parent. She'll come around. She'll be like, okay, you know what? It is my daughter. No, I really think Amity's mom is, like, fucking ruthless.
She's
like,
not.
Pure evil.
She's a gold digger. She cares about no one but herself.
Yeah.
She's kissing the Emperor's butt because he told her that they would become royalty.
Yep.
Well, spoiler alert, he's not going to make you royalty. He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
He's just telling you otherwise the same way he strung Hunter along. And she has known about the draining spell for we don't know how long, and she didn't tell anyone because she knows that they would try to stop it. Well, Alador took a strong stance, and I love, like, Alador might, I mean, like, it's Amity and Hootie and Alador and Darius are all up there. Like, I love these characters. They're my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah.
Like, I love the I love all of the Blights except for Adalia.
Yeah.
And you know, I love Hootie and Darius, you know. And I did see a comment earlier where someone said Alador and Darius as a couple, and I think that would be really cool, actually. I think that Adalia might try to go recruit Darius, since in the flashback episode when they were teenagers, we did see the three of them hanging out together.
Oh, yeah, they were friends at some point.
She would be in for a rude awakening if she tried to recruit Darius, because of all of the Resistance characters that are outside of our main cast, Darius seems like the one that is the least likely to become a traitor to the Cats, even though he hates the name. Because it was the previous Golden Guard, it was Hunter's predecessor, was the one that opened Darius's eyes. So I think he feels just as strongly, if not more so, about this whole thing than any of the characters.
And also, Darius is smart. Like, he knows what's up.
Oh, he's very smart.
He's not brainwashed at all. He's like, I knew this Bellows thing was freaking, like, sketchy as hell. Like, I'm not, you know? Like,
Alador can do so much better than Adalia, absolutely.
He was like, F that. So Adalia, if anything, is not very smart, first of all. And second of all, when you learn that all she wants is just, like, power and money and royalty, like, it's like, okay, that's...
she wants to be worshipped, you know? She wants to be better. She wants to be seen as better than everybody.
Yeah, and that's like, I don't... It's kind of...
I mean, she tried to paint Amity in her image with the green hair. Like, she forced Amity to dye her hair green.
Yeah.
And she didn't like it when Amity dyed it purple, and Alador even said, I like it. It's abomination color.
Yep.
And that was apparently Amity's reason, because she says someone gets it.
Yeah.
But... you know, I loved how much Alador stood up. I love how honest he was in that one-on-one talk with King. And we hear the Collector crying out, and King can hear it now because
can we talk about that? That's like, first I do want to say that was a nice moment when Alador connected with King. Like,
yes,
I feel like King needs all the love he could get, and even his connection with Steve. Like, I like that King is, you know, opening up to all these characters who are becoming, like, family about what he's feeling. And, you know, we even learned that Alador is like, you know what, like, I'm realizing things about myself, too. Like, I haven't been there for my kids as much as I should have been, and, like, things need to change.
But he's learning, and he's able to learn and change. And another message that relays, I think, is that it is never too late.
Yep.
You know, like, you're never too old for anything.
Yeah.
Like... you know, you hear people say, like, you're not a kid anymore. You're too old for video games. You're too old for... No.
Thumbs down that.
Absolutely not. No, you be yourself. You like what you like. You do what makes you happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody, let the freak flag fly. Be who you are.
Amen
be who you
to
want
that.
to be.
Is that our catchphrase now, Steven? That's our catchphrase. Let the freak flag... I can't even talk. Freak flag fly. It's kind of a
That's actually an Ice Nine Kills song, and I love it.
Oh, I've just heard that as a phrase.
No, it's incredible, and
let the freak flag fly.
Oh, absolutely. And I love it so much, and I love that Alador, as an adult in his, I'm guessing, mid-40s, he'd be about Ida's age.
Yeah.
And he's learning, and because we're always learning throughout our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like, his character showed a lot of life lessons in that episode.
He did, definitely.
He didn't care about the money. When Adalia said you won't be getting your severance package, like, that's not what... He didn't care about the money.
Yep.
He cared about the well-being and the safety of his kids, their friends. He welcomed Luce with open arms as Amity's girlfriend.
Yep.
And, and then only to who turned out to not be Luce because they switched places due to a cloaking gem. Which you could kind of see, like, Hunter did a couple of things, like one of his spells, like where he dashed to catch Willow, disguised with Luce, and it was like, Luce can't do that.
Yeah.
But Hunter can, and when you go back and look at it, it's like, okay, but it makes a lot of sense because Luce not only would want to save Hunter from having to get sent to Belos, but Luce also wants to go to save Ida.
Right.
So you kind of have, which is similar to near the end of season 1 where she went to save Ida from petrification.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I would love to see, like, my favorite way that I would love to see, if the curse is the key to stopping the draining spell.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fan-made comic on this with Lilith a long time ago. Everyone with a sigil. If that's how they're getting rid of it, if they're draining it through the sigils, we already know the curse can be shared. And it also lessens the impact it has on a person when it's been shared. Because Ida and Lilith did. Share the curse to literally every witch that has a sigil on the entire Isles. And when they go to drain it, the curse, you can break parts of your body off. Snap your forearm with the sigil on it off and drop it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Bam! They can't wrap you up!
Yep.
There was a comic where Kikimora went to bind Lilith with her Emperor's Coven sigil, and she just snapped the forearm off and dropped it on the ground.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I know this is meant to be funny, but like, this could work. I know there's the whole deal that Ida and Rain did in Ida's Requiem, but like, they would die if they did that. Like, why not just share the curse? And I mean, yeah, these people would lose their magic and they'd have to contend with the curse. But
that makes sense. Yeah,
but like,
that could work.
It's better than dying.
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, I guess I don't have much to contribute because I feel like I haven't put much thought into like how they can defeat this curse. Like, I feel like every episode I've just been so like swept up in the reveals because I feel like there's just been like reveal after reveal after reveal after reveal, which is like obviously because it's coming towards the end.
Yeah, well, we got one more episode for season 2, and then we've got
we're getting there.
So, and then we've got the 3 45-minute specials that are apparently they're going to air in October.
But are those the official end of the show?
Yes, those are the official end of the show.
Oh, so we still have like, quite a bit more.
We have roughly 6 episodes worth if you count by the normal episode length, but it's 3 and they're double length.
All right, so there's a lot more that could still happen. Actually,
yeah, imagine like each one is the same length that Change Your Mind was.
Yeah, so that's like us getting close to Change Your Mind in Steven Universe.
Yeah, it's like we're basically nearing like the reunited part.
Yeah.
So now there is one more piece of this episode that and it's been in the comments already, that needs to be addressed. The biggest moment in the episode, in these 4 episodes, maybe in the entire show.
Oh.
Luce goes up to the balcony. Actually, I would say all of that. Amity jumps into her arms, they hug, And the kiss, I screamed with joy when I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So monumental.
I mean, it is. It's incredible, you know. I mean, and again, with the show having been canceled and shortened in season 3, like, Dana, you know, again, really giving it to Disney, saying, "Oh, you're not just going to get the Grom dance and the one kiss on the cheek. You're going to get the Luce kissing Amity on the cheek, and then BT Dubs, here's the mouth kiss."
They're adorable together.
And you know, it's incredible. I love it. You know, I love that happened.
Yeah.
And I love how Luce is wearing Ida's Grudgby jacket now as like her main look.
Oh yeah,
and
she also changed
I know
hair.
that they put a story point in there for that where she doesn't have her cape was torn, which we know was fixed. But Amity, being someone who Dana has said is or was it like more of a jock, and she was an athlete. She was the Grudgby captain before she left it,
right? And
Bosca became captain. So Amity, I have to imagine, is very attracted to that.
Oh,
and
like
that
Luce
could be
in the
another
jacket?
reason why Luce is doing it.
Like Luce in the bomber jacket? Like, oh my god. Like
and yeah, like the first time that screenshot got leaked and Luce has the varsity jacket on, and I commented, I'm like, Amity sees this drooling.
I get it. That's so funny.
Yeah, no, the Lumity kiss was...
It was adorable.
Oh my god!
It was beautiful.
I have that as my phone wallpaper now and everything.
Aww.
Like
Luce's awkward reaction was even cuter.
Oh, it was adorable.
And again,
I absolutely loved that happened and everything about it.
We have some comments that say, Lumity. I love her in the Grudge.
Luce is basically she has the look of the jock with it. Yeah, athletic Luce. Yeah, because she has the Grudgeby jacket.
Luce
I think that's her best. I think that's Luce's best look.
Luce has always like kind of given me a bit of like tomboy vibes though. Like, just, like, even her personality.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, you know? Like, she's not a girly character.
No, she's not.
Amity, I always felt, was a little bit more, like, feminine portrayed, even though she wasn't, like, she's not a girly girl, but, like...
lesbian. Like, again, that shows a woman can be lesbian and still be very feminine.
And I love that.
A guy can be gay and still be very masculine.
Exactly. I mean, I'm bisexual.
You don't, like, just because your sexual orientation is homosexual... or bi or anything, or hetero for that matter, does not mean that you have to align with the gender opposite of what you're attracted to.
You don't have to. Like,
you can have straight guys who are more feminine, you can have straight women who are more masculine, you know, it doesn't matter, and gender stereotyping, you know, the whole term feminine, masculine, like all that, I don't like any of that to begin with.
It's nice to see that.
It's just people should just get to be themselves again. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah, and I like that Luce and Amity are just themselves. I feel like neither one or the other is like, oh, this one is very masculine and this one is very feminine. Or they're both very masculine.
They're not.
Or they're both very feminine.
They don't get into
They're
that.
Just them. Like they're just who they are. But I do like how, like, you know, they are very unique and different in just their own personalities, and it's not a stereotypical stereotype. So I do think that's like really beautiful that they did it that way. And the kiss I thought was really adorable and such a happy moment for them. And I don't know. I feel like there's just. It's so nice to see that just like out in the open on a kid's cartoon. None of the characters talk about it. There's no drama behind it.
There's no drama behind any of the LGBT
not at all. It's just like, okay.
In the Boiling Isles, LGBT is considered just as much the norm as hetero. You know, there's no judgment on it. Yeah. Like when Adalia said that it wouldn't do that Luce was Amity's girlfriend, it wasn't because she was a girl. It was because she was a wanted criminal and, you know, also seemingly poor. And, you know, she wasn't like the wealthy, rich, preppy, stuck-up type, whatever word you want to use to, you know, like, I don't like, I feel like those are all labels and I don't like to use those. Like.
Me either.
And, you know, so.
But I definitely...
Sexuality does not define all of your personality. It doesn't. Sexuality doesn't have to define any of your personality if you don't want it to. It's entirely up to the individual. 100%.
I'll share something personal. I am bisexual, but I'm currently in a heterosexual relationship. But there were a few years when I only dated women because I was still trying to figure out, like, how I identified. I mean, I don't really identify as anything. Like, I just like people, okay? Like, if we have a connection, we have a connection. But for a while, I was only dating girls, and I'm just naturally more attracted to girls that are more feminine, just naturally.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot of the time, like, people wouldn't even believe I was in a relationship. Like, they'd be like, oh, like, you guys are just friends. There's no way you're dating. And I'd be like, are you serious? Like, that's, like, insulting.
Can be, yeah.
Like, it's nice to see that, like, finally people are like, oh, if you're gay, you don't have to look like this or, like, present yourself like this. Like,
yeah, she was beneath Amity is what her mom was referring to. Yeah, I'm just reading a comment. Yeah, I agree.
So
well, that's what Adalia thought. That's not what Amity thinks.
Yeah, I'm so glad that, well, I mean, 5% of me thought that her mom was, like, actually referring to that, and I was like, there's no way they're going to put that in the show.
No.
I was like, there's no way. So,
if there's one character on the Isles that's homophobic, it's Emperor Bellows.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, 17th century would be the 1600s, yeah. 17th century Anglo-Saxon fundamentalist, potentially from the Connecticut witch trials, yeah, he's going to be homophobic.
Maybe. Just kidding. Definitely.
But they don't even have to bring that into the light. Like, that's the thing. They don't have to bring that into the light at all.
Yeah. They don't. I definitely think, Flower Crown Luna says, the animation was so fluid, too. Their expressions were so natural. And
they put extra funding into the animation of the kiss scene. I forget the name. They said who animated it, but it was kind of like when they had James Baxter animate when Steven danced with Pink Steven.
Yeah, that was a moment.
So they put extra animation and budgeting for the animation into that moment. So again, Dana really emphasizing what's important to her and shoving it to Disney again.
Again,
beautiful.
Time.
I love it.
Super.
I absolutely love it. So I guess since we only have a minute or two left here,
yeah, we can go. I mean, yeah, we can go a little.
What do we think is going to happen going forward here in this season finale?
That's what we want to do. We want to talk, and you guys comment below too. We want to talk about what we predict will happen in this finale. I'm
gonna let you go first. We'll read some comments. My prediction is going to be for what happens at the end of the season finale episode.
Oh, like the end of the whole show?
No, the end of season 2. The end of the episode.
Maybe we should just talk about what we think is going to happen at the end of season 2. All right, so. Man.
We know Luce is on her way to
Bellows.
to the head of the Titan. Ida's there, along with presumably some of the other cats.
I would not be surprised if they, the whole team teams up and they make it to Bellows in time to try to save Luce. But maybe right at the last moment, the Collector finally gets unleashed. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it ends with him just being unleashed, or them, whatever they identify as. I wouldn't be surprised if we know. Okay, he and they. If we know the Collector has been freed, but we don't see the Collector. You know what I mean?
See, you're very, very close to what I think is going to happen, and I'm going to explain my logic behind it.
Yeah.
What I think is going to happen is a little more traumatic. I do believe the Collector is going to be freed. The Day of Unity is going to happen. I do believe they're going to be able to save people. I think it's very likely in the long run that witch kind on the Isles, at least the ones with the witches with sigils, are going to permanently lose all their magic no matter what. They may be able to use glyphs in the future. I don't know. But when Dana did the charity stream way back before the second half of season 2 started, she drew the Collector in color, implying not as a shadow. So we saw the hood, which mirrors the one that we saw in Knock Knock Knocking on Hootie's Door.
Yeah.
But the face looked like Luce's, but the hair was white. I believe, and this is a popular theory going around that this is going to happen anyway, I believe the very end of the season 2 finale this Saturday is going to conclude with the Collector possessing Luce.
So, like, literally Bill Cipher vibes.
Yeah, literally possessing her and taking her body as a host.
Like what happened with Dipper.
Yeah, and it's gonna like he'll take possession of Luce. The colors will turn to the like Eclipse face, the white hair, like we saw in that drawing, and then we'll probably see an evil smile and a laugh, like more like a chuckle, like, and that'll be it, and it'll go to black.
Oh wait, Steven, I just got a comment that someone can't hear us. Can you guys not hear us still? I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I can hear you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see.
My microphone's running.
I mean, I hear us. I don't know.
The season ends with the Collector taking over Luce's body. I don't believe it ends with the Isles and Earth colliding. I think it's just going to end with with the Collector taking over Luce's body.
Yeah, I don't think like it's going to be. I don't think we're going to get like the full out battle against the Collector. Like I think the reveal of the Collector will be where they're going to.
Yeah, the Collector is going to be released, or he's going to escape, and he's going to. Yeah, and he's going to take control.
Oh, possessing Luce, though? I don't know. That's so scary. I don't want that to happen.
I mean, I don't think anyone does, but it's just, like, it seems so likely, because we still have not seen the image. If the spirit of the Collector is freed, he's going to need a body.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would be his own entity just because I thought, like, that design looked really cool. Like, I like how he's, like, kind of, like, half sun, half moon or something. Like, I liked that. Well, but if it is just the Collector possessing Luce, it could... I mean, all we know of the Collector so far is that it's a shadow that appears childlike, like a little kid, but can, like, shapeshift. And, like, create, like... illusions and different imagery. Like the body can do anything, pretty much.
No, see, I do believe that I don't believe Luce was the one that Bellows intended to have the Collector possess. I believe the intention of Hunter was for him to stay safe in the castle as a body host for the Collector to possess.
Oh.
I believe that was Hunter's purpose.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Because Luce went in Hunter's place, I think we're gonna get Luce.
Oh
instead.
my god! And that would make sense with the switch. Why that even happened?
Yeah.
Like, because I thought that was random that happened.
It's gonna happen to Luce now, but it was meant to happen to Hunter.
Ooh. So, all right, let's talk about this. If that's true, what do you think would have been cooler, Luce getting possessed or Hunter?
I mean, it's tough to say.
Neither are cool. They both suck. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like Hunter being possessed would be interesting.
I don't think it ends with the cast on Earth, and I'm not going to go into detail as to why, because there is too many there. That is spoilery in other territory.
Oh, okay.
So but I don't personally. I think that's too similar. I don't believe that's going to happen.
I don't know. I guess that would be interesting if that happens. Well, I
think the reason Bellows wants to bring the Titan head over into the human realm is because he knows without it, he can't use his wild magic, which is that he does use wild magic, but no matter how much he condemns it, he uses it.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
And we learned in Youngblood Old Souls that the glyphs don't work in the human realm. So they need the Titan's magic in the human realm. And I also want to see if the Basilisk race is going to be brought back into this as a way to potentially drain magic.
What even happened to that? Like, that was just, like, never mentioned again.
They feed on magic. The one that invaded the school was draining the magic of the students and did the same at Glandis before that.
Yeah, right. And then we never
was sent by the Emperor's Coven. I don't believe that was an imposter. I believe that was intentionally sent by Bellows to drain the magic to sustain Emperor Bellows. I do believe in the end of the series, Bellows is going to die.
Oh, I think so too.
Because he will end up back on Earth. He's too old. He can't sustain magic on Earth. He's going to die.
I think so too.
I think the portal will remain open.
I'm not as worried as Bellows as I am about the Collector, and I've been saying that since we first started talking about him.
Yeah, no, I think the Collector is the ultimate villain, because the Collector is highly unpredictable, and we don't know what they are going to do.
And the funny thing is, like, I wasn't expecting the Collector to be the ultimate villain. Like, even when it was mentioned, I thought it would be like this mystical being that was probably going to be a good character. And then when they're first introduced and they're in the walls, like, hey, you love being evil, don't you? I was like, oh my god, it's so evil, and like, kind of like, I don't even know. Like,
well, I think Bellows is trying to make sure the Collector can't double cross him.
Yeah.
And because I think everybody knows the Collector's trying to double cross Bellows.
They're not on the same side. They're not on the same side.
It's going to create a triangle where you're going to have the rebellion or the resistance rather, and then you're going to have Bellows and the Emperor's Coven, and then you're going to have the Collector on his own side. It's going to create a triangle.
That's like three opposing sides coming at each other.
He will definitely make another appearance. I want to see V throw a bath bomb at someone as part of a fight, because in yesterday's lie, in the tarot card reading with the Hexus Hold'em cards, they told her that one of the kids told her she's going to need some bath bombs. So I want to see that come full circle, and I can just imagine V throwing a bath bomb at Kikimora or someone just to get her out of the way.
Just like anyone should throw anything at Kikimora, like, just go at her. I need to stop hating on Kikimora so much, but like I don't know.
And I mean, like, I love the Alador x Darius ship, and I'm all for it. But how about this? Alador x no, that doesn't work.
Who?
No. If it may be sisters. I was gonna say Alador x Camilla, but then Luce and Amity would be stepsisters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're still not related by blood, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Alador x Darius.
Did you also notice?
What about Camilla x Ida?
Camilla and Ida?
I can see that. Camilla and Ida. I could see that.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, if we're talking about like,
I would love to see Camilla give Odalia La Chancla. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry. I don't speak Spanish, but throw the slipper at Odalia.
I definitely I actually noticed. Did you notice this? Because I don't know if I was imagining it, but in the episode where they reveal Steve, I feel like he and Lilith had some moments.
Okay, so here's the thing. We know that Lilith is Aero Ace from the charity stream. She's aromantic, she's asexual.
Oh.
So she's never had romantic feelings for anyone. It is theorized that Steve was the person that she wrote about in the letter to Hootie from that charity stream. This wasn't actually in an episode, that she said that had romantic feelings for her. Now, granted, there's probably about a 20-year age gap between the two of them, because I don't imagine Steve is...
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Because he is Bartholomew's brother, not father. That said, it could still very much be a possibility, but Lilith being Aero Ace, I don't believe that.
I forgot about that. You told me that once and I forgot about it. Sorry.
Yeah, and if she is aromantic, then I think that they should, I think Dana will definitely honor that and keep that the way it is.
Of course. I mean, I just ship Lilith and Hootie as besties, so.
I think the biggest thing as to why, the biggest obstacle in the way of Ida and Camilla being a couple is that I think it will be Ida and Rain. Because they clearly both still have feelings for each other.
I want Ida and Rain to be endgame. I'm just going to put it out there. I think they're adorable together. I think that what Rain did was in Ida's best interest, and I think that Ida is very obviously still in love with Rain.
Hunter gets adopted by either Darius or Camilla. Probably Darius, I think. I think Darius.
Oh, okay, so I have a prediction for the ending battle. It says, my predictions for King's Tide. Luce versus Bellows 2. Collector betrays Bellows either by killing or possession. Collector possesses most of the witches as an army of puppets.
Okay, a back queen appearance I could see.
I kind of like the Army of Puppets idea. That's great. That would be pretty easy.
So here's the thing. I am gonna touch base here on the secret message from season 2. Since season 1, it was 2 witches torn apart, now alone, 2 hearts of stone, a curse of feathers and mud, a betrayal of blood, referring to the Clawthorns.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, with this last word that was revealed, I do believe we now know who this is referring to character-wise, and the character is King. Seething seas and puppet strings, he no longer dreams of kings. As above rush darkened skies, as below his father, blank. There are 2 words that I think can fit here. The first one is lies.
Lies.
His father lies below where he stands. His father is the Isles.
Yeah.
And that would make sense. Now, a little darker here. As below, his father dies. And my reasoning behind that is this. We know that over the time since Philip came to the Isles in the 17th century and now, the veins have decayed and dried up. The Titan's blood is becoming more and more scarce. They haven't been able to find any. If it fully expires out, that could be what he means by his father dies. The life force, the Titan's blood, is completely extinguished, and there is no magic left from it. Right. Which would mean that glyph magic possibly would no longer work on the Isles anymore. I don't know. Yeah. Because if the Titan is the reason they're able to use magic, and he fully dies, then their magical properties would disappear. Yeah, now, it's possible that King may be able to restore that, but after the word father was revealed, I'm like, no, this is about King. He no longer dreams of kings. Means he no longer dreams of being a despotic overlord ruler like he did when he was, like he did in season 1, early season 2.
Yeah.
Like, he no longer dreams of becoming a tyrant.
It's about King. Yeah.
He just wants to be himself and be accepted and be part of a family.
Yep, our baby King. It's true. And I think that's...
Rise, senses the boiling Isles. Yeah, I mean, like... You could, word-wise, wordplay-wise, that actually does work, but I personally, I'm thinking it's going to be, lies makes the most sense. I would love to see them take on the twist of dies, though, and actually make that, to where, do they have magic anymore now? Is King able to use his power, his echolocation kind of power, to generate... can he use that instead of his blood to activate a portal? Can
we've already seen
power? We saw him blow up the spire.
We saw the power of King alone at this point. That.
Yeah, we saw it in the end of Edge of the World when he blew up that spire.
And the fact that he's the last Titan, we don't know the true potential power of the Titans since we've never met any besides King. And King is just discovering his power, so we don't know what he's capable
his dad is the power supply to all magical things on the Isles.
Yeah, so he.
So even though witches and biped demons are able to use magic, and humans even through the power of glyphs, as we've seen with both Luce and Bellows, and also Hunter as a Grimwalker.
Yeah,
the power comes from the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come from yes, the witches we know that the bile sacs that are attached to witches' hearts. Those work even without the Titan's magic, as Lilith was still able to do magic in the human realm.
Yeah, I mean,
so that was some kind of evolution that took place because the earliest witches wouldn't have had bile sacs, implying they may have actually been humans that crossed over. Hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago.
They could have been. I mean, it's obvious that this last episode is going to be very heavily centered around King. Since it's literally in his name. So I'm kind of wondering...
the word tide has been used multiple times. Most recently in Elsewhere and Elsewhen, when the tide coming in would close the portals to the the time portals.
Yeah, like what does that mean? Like,
I think it means something along the lines of some kind of point of no return for something.
I just want King to be okay. Like seriously,
I think he'll be okay. I mean, I don't think the Titans will go extinct.
I hope not.
But I'm also curious to see what Luce's Palisman is going to hatch into.
I was going to bring that up because Pamela, I think, asked that question a few times. I love that. Yes, King Hijinks just said what I was going to say. Okay. I think Luce making her Palisman an egg, giving it the power to choose who and what it wants to be, and her loving it no matter what is beautiful and fits the themes of the show so well.
I agree.
It does, but also, like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, you can, like Palisman just hatch on their own? I thought, like, they had to be carved into...
No, they don't hatch on their own. This is something Luce chose to do on her own.
Wow. I know. No, I know she did. I just think that's, like, I didn't know that was even possible to do. Like, I didn't know you could just craft an egg and, like, I don't know what it'll be.
And I'm really curious, because I really hope we get to find out who the owner of the Bat Queen's staff was. Because she said that was thousands of years ago.
I wonder.
So, it'd be like, you know, was she the first Palisman?
She could have been. Like,
did she belong to King's dad? Did she belong to the enemy that he was fighting? Like, who is she? You know, who is she? Where we know she was a Palisman. She has an interlock.
Return of the Bat Queen would be pretty cool, actually.
I definitely believe we're going to see the Bat Queen again.
Yeah.
Probably not, like, maybe not until season 3, but she did tell Ida to keep the whistle. So we know that Ida can still call on her.
Yeah.
Whether that's in this Saturday's episode or whether it's in an episode in the one of the season 3 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's almost for certain that she's going to come back. Well, and I do believe we're going to see all the characters from the show converge for one final battle at the end.
Definitely. It'll be like the end of Steven
Universe. That's how these things go.
That's how these things go. We've watched enough of these cartoons. But I think we've talked about everything we needed to talk about. Oh, I said I love the Bat Queen. Imagine if her Palisman just hatches mid-battle and saves her from one of Belos' attacks.
I actually do think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to hatch and save her.
And Luce has a magical transformation. What if Luce's Palisman was like a cute little kitty, like her purple cat hood? She wore that purple cat hood the whole show.
I don't think it'll be a cat, only because Amity's is a cat.
It is?
So they already... Yeah, Amity's is a white cat named Ghost, which is actually named for Dana's cat in real life.
Oh. I forgot about that. Okay.
Well, I think a bat, and one of the catalysts could be the Bat Queen's potential death. Because, you know, Luce's phone case, it has bat wings on it. We've seen, like, one of the outfits had a bat symbol on it. Like, there have been hints of a bat, a snake, and an otter.
She even kind of dressed, like, sort of like bat, like, for the prom episode, too. Like, a vampire-ish look, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess there are a lot of like bat type things happening with Luce.
Yeah.
Wait, the otter.
And then of course there's the whole otter with a dark side kind of thing, you know, and the otter pajamas. So that's an option. And the snake is more based on the show's logo.
Oh, okay.
And how like in one of the staff looking parts of one of the letters, it has Albert above it, and the other one has what appears to be a snake.
Oh.
I think it's the letter S, and it looks like a snake.
Interesting. Well, we're gonna have to find out and see. Maybe her Palisman will hatch during the final battle episode. I can see that happening. That's a really cool thing.
I think it'll be a season 3 thing, but we'll find out. You know, I think with roughly 22 minutes of content left. For season 2, you know, I think there's going to be a big confrontation. You know, we're going to see
the whole thing.
The cats take their plan into action. We're going to see Belos is ready, and we're going to see
will be released.
You know, who ends up being the hero here.
Yep.
I do believe by the end of the character, someone is going to die. I don't think it'll be one of the kids.
No, but not one of the main characters.
Someone, you know, I think Belos is definitely going to die, but I think someone someone is going to die as a martyr, and it's not Belos, but like I just hope that Belos doesn't end up getting redeemed in a fight against the Collector.
Yeah. Redeemed?
I don't
think Bellows is going to get
redeemed.
I don't really think he's going to get redeemed.
I really hope not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that happening for him at this point. He's too, like you said, he's
snakes in the first
ways.
episode. Luce also fought the Gilder Snake in the first episode, which was in the very first scene in the show, which was voiced by Alex Hirsch.
Oh.
That's one of my sound alerts on Twitch. And you go, no, my only weakness, dying.
Oh yeah.
I also think it'd be funny if in the final blow in the final battle was, do not underestimate me, Collector, for I am Luce, the human witch, warrior of peace. Now eat this, sucker! It would be a great callback to that first scene.
Definitely. That would be super awesome. Well, I guess we have to wait and see. The next episode is Saturday. And
I'll be watching it in my hotel room at MomoCon.
Oh, we've been talking about this for a while, and it is King's Tide.
Yes.
Oh boy. Pamela says, I'm so excited for Saturday as long as Bellows is the one who dies. I'm good. Leave Luce and her found family and her friends alone. Agreed. Snaps to that. And there's no way Bellows is getting a redemption.
I don't think Bellows will die in this episode. I think he'll die in the season 3.
I don't know if he'll die, but I think he'll be like, oh, my plan is to have, like, in action finally. But it's not going to be him who gets the upper hand. I think the Collector is going to somehow, like, imprison him or, like, overpower Bellows. Not necessarily kill him.
I think the Collector will absolutely backstab him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's written all over. It's been hinted at too much. But I think what's going to cause Bellows to die is ending up in the human realm without the Titan's magic.
Because he's too old already, and he's been depending on it for so long.
You know, I had a theory that Bellows took a time pool to 50 years before the current era. But I think that with everything that the Collector said in that last episode, that's pretty much been debunked.
Yeah.
And the truth is that his body really is 450, almost 500 years old.
Yeah.
Or almost 400, not 500. His body is a solid 400 years old.
Yeah, that old. I don't think he's going to last without that magic.
I believe the second he goes into the human realm, his magic runs out and he dies.
Yeah. And that'll be it. And then we'll be dealing with the Collector. Eek. But
Bellows is indeed the Owl House version of Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Absolutely. Religious fundamentalist, 100%.
And Flower Crown Luna says, yep, the Collector was like, I want to play a new game. That's the thing, too. That's all this is for them. It's a game. It's a game. The Collector is having fun. He is having fun.
Yeah, the Collector is Bill Cipher.
He's Bill Cipher. I kind of love Steven. I guess we should wrap it up because it is 8:40, but I do want to say, like, I do love how almost everything we've predicted so far has been true.
Just about all of it, yeah. There's only been a couple of minor things that weren't.
It's mostly been props to you, but we've been right, and that's kind of exciting.
I mean, the only major one that I got revealed recently was King being a Titan, which I've been saying for a while now.
And Hunter being the Grimwalker.
Well, yeah, the see, to me, I felt like that was already confirmed. Like, to me, after analyzing that still from the beginning of Eclipse Lake, I was like, I think everybody who analyzed it kind of looked at it and was like, yeah, he's a Grimwalker.
Yeah.
And we knew from the episode after that Philip had a brother, so, you know, the Emperor's one of them, the Hunter's a clone of the other.
Craziness.
But, you know, I originally thought that Bellows had a current Grimwalker body and he was going to take Hunter's body, but now I realize that body was meant for the Collector.
Yep. So many crazy things. But I want to thank you guys for being so, being so involved in our live and leaving all your thoughts and comments and geeking out with us, and also sharing such insight into like how the show has made you feel emotionally and as a fan. And it's been so fun. Like, I really feel like we've all been hanging out. So thank you to everybody who stayed the whole time and hung out in the comments, because it makes it a lot more fun for Steven and I, honestly.
Oh,
absolutely. Like, interacting with you guys.
Imagine Belos' reaction to finding out that Luce fell in love with a witch just like his brother did.
Yeah. Yep. That's going to be intense. Belos is going to lose his you-know-what, guys.
No,
he's going to lose it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think that is good. Then we will figure out a time to come back on here next week and talk about... we can talk about King's Tide and wrap up, like, and kind of do an overlook on the entire second season.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about King's Tide, which is obviously going to be super exciting. And then we could all share our thoughts on what we thought and what we're excited about for the
and then kind of go back and, go back to separate tides or even just Follies at the Coven Day Parade, whichever, and just kind of look back at all of these and see, like, how the story progressed, what we thought was going to happen versus what happened, how much of it was accurate, how much of it was a surprise.
Yeah, it'll be super fun.
Because there have been a lot of twists and turns throughout season 2, and I understand why the pacing has been as it's been, because, we're basically getting almost 2 seasons worth of content crammed down into one.
Yeah. Which is going to be, it's going to be intense. It's going to be like, again, like the end of Steven Universe, like Change Your Mind. Like, they did cram everything together, and it was so much fun.
Oh, yeah, when you go from everything after A Single Pale Rose, pretty much, like, the pacing got rushed. When it got to Reunited, they had to cram everything together.
I was like overly stimulated.
With the Diamond Days, the Homeworld episodes. Like, my God, Legs from Here to Homeworld could have been 3 different episodes, but by itself.
Literally, though.
And that was 11 and a half minutes. Like, that could have been 3 episodes.
Oh man, Legs from Here to Homeworld was one of like the best episodes.
You have the one where they reconcile and explain everything to the Diamonds. You got the one where they show them the corrupted Centipedal, and then you got the one where they take the mission to Homeworld.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally 3 episodes. Come on now.
All in one. So we'll see how this pans out, but it'll be exciting regardless. And I hope you guys join us.
We'll try to let you guys know when we're going to be on. You can follow Kelly and I both on Instagram.
Yep.
At Kellyanne MCC. Remember, she's got 2 Ys. Not just one, and mine is 16-Bit Steven. That's my everything, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Twitch, you name it.
Yeah.
It's universal.
Yeah. So, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the wonderful comments, and we'll see you next time we geek out about Owl House. Should we do our sign-off, Steven?
Yep. 3, 2,
1.
1. Bye!